today's video, we are going to create on about applications of digital input and digital output. As we can see, I written the code here and I'll explain it to you later. What does this code mean? So we should proceed on how we configure the pins of the PIC16 F18875. On how to start a new project, it is said or demonstrated on the first two videos. So we go first to the pin module and to the pin manager grid view. As we can see, they are labeled here on the right. What does this pin mean? So for LED1, it is port A3. So which is the pin 5 of the IC. Port A5 is the LED3 or pin 7 of the IC. And lastly, the RA7 is the LED2 or the pin 13 of the chip. This is how the outputs are set as we can see here. So as we can see, LED 1, 2, and 3 are marked as outputs here. And for the inputs, for port B0, it is set as the switch 3, which is the pin 33 of the IC. And for port B2, it is the switch 1 or SW1 as your name, which is the pin 35. And port B3 is the switch 2, which is the pin 36 of the IC. And all those switches are marked in as weak pull up since it is considered as our input. And for the system module, we should retain it as is. So as we can see, it is set as the high frequency internal oscillator with the internal clock of 4 MHz with the clock divider of 4. The watchdog timer is disabled and the low voltage programming is enabled. So everything is set. So we could click generate. So since it is already generated, we should proceed to our code on main.c. As we can see, LED1 is set high. So the first thing that this program do was set this LED to on or make the LED1 turned on. The next line, if switch 1 is pressed or has the value of 0, there is a for loop which consider as the bounds for that switch, which means that for every the initial value of x is 0. For each x that is less than or equal to 100, the x variable will increment by 1 and it has the delay of 5 milliseconds. So the next line of this code is another if statement, but this time for the switch 2. So if switch 2 is on, LED 1 will be turned off. And for the next, however, for this next line, LED 2 will set high. This means that uh, when the LED 1 is off, automatically LED 2 will turn on. And this delay uh, is 5 seconds. So it means that the LED 2 will turn on for about 5 seconds and the LED 2 will be off again. And after this state will be off again, but the LED 1 will be on again. And for the next statement, if switch 3 is pressed, since we can have two choices for this, it means that when SE switch 2 is not pressed but switch 3 is pressed, these are the conditions that the program or the IC should do. Turn off LED 1, which is set low. Turn on LED 3, which is set high for about 5 seconds. This what the delay means. And turn off LED 3 again after 5 seconds. But since LED 1 set high is out of this loop, so the LED will be automatically on if LED 3 is turned off. If these two switches are still off or these two conditions are not satisfied, LED 2 and LED 3 will be off, but LED 1 will be on. So this is the how the code works, and we can program it on our IC uh, like what we did on our previous experiments. As we can see, the program is already loaded on our IC. So now, to test it out, this is the red LED is the LED 1, LED 2, the green one, and the LED 3, the blue one. And this is the switch 1, switch 2, and switch 3. So if we press switch 1 and switch 2, LED 2 will be on, but the LED 1 will turn off. So I'll repeat it once again. So LED 2 is turned on, but LED 1 is off. And it, as we can see, the LED 2 is on for about 5 seconds. And now we press switch 1 and switch 3. The blue LED is on, but and for about 5 seconds the LED 3 is off again. So once again, it's a blue LED, but since it's too bright, so it appears white. So we can see that again, LED 3 is on for about 5 seconds, and it will be off after that, after 5 seconds, and LED 1 will be on again. As we can see, this circuit has a similarity with the vending machine. So this switch will represent the coin inserted, And these two options here, the switch 2 and 3, are the choices, which is the coffee or water or any other beverages other than coffee, or this is the choice 1 or choice 2. So insert coin, then choice 1, the green LED turned on, and then choice the coin, and then choice 2, so the blue LED turned on.